AITA for telling my boyfriend's mom that her son is cheating? I, 25F, have been with my boyfriend, 27M, for 2 years. I recently found out he's been cheating on me with multiple girls from his gym. I told him it was over, but when I went to pick up my things from his house, his mother was there. She adores me, and she asked why I was leaving him. I told her the truth. Now he's furious, saying I ruined his life because his mom won't stop crying, and is telling the whole family. He claims I'm being spiteful and should have just left quietly. Am I the a-hole? I used to believe Adam and I were the kind of couple other people envied. We had the cute couple energy down to a science, inside jokes, matching hoodies, weekend coffee dates where strangers smiled at us like we were something out of a Pinterest board. For a long time, I thought I had found someone solid, someone dependable, the kind of man you could build a life with. We met at a friend's housewarming party 2 years ago. Adam was leaning casually against the kitchen counter, a glass of whiskey in hand, telling some story that had everyone laughing. He wasn't the flashiest guy in the room, no loud voice or big gestures, but he had this quiet confidence that drew me in. His smile felt like a spotlight, and when he turned it on me, I was hooked. I remember the exact moment I felt something shift that night. He noticed I'd been standing awkwardly in a corner, trying to avoid small talk, and brought me a slice of pizza with a wink. "You look like you need a rescue mission," he said. It was such a small gesture, but the sincerity in his eyes melted me. Fast forward 2 years, and I thought I had found my forever. Adam's family loved me, especially his mom, Linda. She was this warm, motherly type who'd text me recipes and call me just to check in. Honestly, I think Linda and I had an easier relationship than Adam and I did at times. Whenever we'd visit, she'd gush, "I hope you know how much Adam loves you. He's not the most vocal, but I see it." I believed her. I wanted to. Adam himself was good, at least on the surface. He had a steady job in tech. He was into fitness. Maybe too into fitness, but more on that later. And he had this cool but humble personality that made people trust him. Even my friends were like, "Wow, this guy's a keeper." For 2 years, I bought into the idea that we were building something real. We split time between his house and my apartment, and while we hadn't moved in together officially, we talked about it often. He'd casually mention, "When we have our own place," and my heart would do cartwheels. It started small. Little things I brushed off. Adam had always been into working out, but recently he started living at the gym. He'd go after work and sometimes not come home until almost midnight. "Just getting in an extra set," he'd say with a grin. When I asked why he was suddenly doubling his gym time, he'd joke, "Babe, don't you want me to look good for you?" I wanted to believe that was all it was. Then came the phone thing. He used to leave his phone lying around, face up, never a care. Lately, though, always face down. And if I so much as glanced at it when it buzzed, he'd grab it like it was a ticking bomb. I remember one night, his phone lit up at 11 p.m. with a text from someone named Kendra. I asked, "Who's Kendra?" And he replied, way too quickly, "Just a trainer at the gym. Don't worry about it." It sounded reasonable enough at the time. Still, something in my gut whispered, "Don't ignore this." One night, while Adam was in the shower, his phone buzzed again. I stared at it. My hands were shaking, my heart hammering. Part of me felt guilty, like I was invading his privacy, but another part screamed that I needed to know. I opened the messages. What I found was a punch to the gut. Flirty texts. "Can't wait to see you tonight" messages, photos, voice notes of him saying things like, "You look so good today, I can't stop thinking about you." There wasn't just one girl. There were 3 different women from the gym. I recognized some of the names from people he'd casually mentioned, like, "Oh yeah, Amanda's always on the treadmill next to me." I felt sick. I remember setting the phone down like it had burned me. When he came out of the shower, I confronted him. I thought maybe he'd fall apart, beg for forgiveness, swear it was a mistake. Instead, he looked at me with this cold, almost annoyed expression. "You're overreacting. It's just flirting. Everyone does it." Flirting? I threw his phone on the couch and said, "Flirting doesn't involve sending pictures like that, Adam. Flirting doesn't involve sneaking around behind my back." His response? "You're too sensitive. Maybe if you weren't so uptight, I wouldn't need to get attention elsewhere." I can't even explain the feeling of hearing that. It was like someone had poured ice water over my heart. That night, I stayed silent. I lay awake in his bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering how I'd been so blind. I thought about every little moment that had felt off in the last few months. The gym obsession, the secretive phone habits, the sudden work late excuses. By morning, my mind was made up. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to stick around and be treated like an option. When I told him I was leaving, he barely reacted. Fine, he said. If you're going to throw away 2 years over nothing, that's your problem. Nothing. That word kept echoing in my head. Was I really nothing to him? I went to my apartment that night and cried until my face hurt. I felt humiliated, betrayed, and stupid for believing he was the person I thought he was. But I wasn't done with him. Not yet. I had to go back and get my things. And that's where things got complicated. 2 days later, I drove to Adam's house to grab the rest of my stuff. I was dreading it. Not because I'd have to see him, I wasn't even sure he'd be home, but because it felt like I was closing a chapter I didn't want to admit was over. When I walked in, I was surprised to see Linda, his mom, sitting at the kitchen table with a cup of tea. She smiled at me like always, but her expression quickly shifted when she saw the boxes in my hands. "Oh, sweetheart," she said, standing up. "What's going on? Are you two moving?" I froze. Linda adored me. We'd spent holidays together, shared recipes, even gone shopping a few times when Adam bailed on plans. She always joked that I was the daughter she never had. I didn't know what to say. My mouth opened and closed like a fish. "Did you two fight?" she asked gently. "Did Adam do something?" I wanted to lie. I wanted to tell her, "Oh, we just grew apart," but something inside me snapped. Maybe it was the exhaustion, or maybe I was tired of pretending Adam was some golden boy. "He cheated," I said, my voice trembling, "with multiple girls." From his gym, Linda's face went pale. She set her tea down with shaking hands and sank back into her chair. "No," she whispered. "No, Adam wouldn't. He wouldn't do that." "I saw the messages," I told her. My voice cracked. "It's real." She covered her mouth with both hands and started crying. Not just a few tears, full-on sobbing. "I'm so sorry," she said over and over. "I don't know what's wrong with him. You don't deserve this." I tried to comfort her, but honestly, I was just as broken. I grabbed my boxes, hugged her, and left before Adam got home. An hour later, my phone buzzed. "Adam, did you seriously tell my mom? Are you insane?" Then another. "You've ruined my life. She won't stop crying, and now she's telling the whole family. What is wrong with you? You couldn't just leave quietly?" I stared at my phone, torn between anger and disbelief. I'm the villain now? After everything he did, I'm the one ruining his life because I told his mom the truth? As I sat on my bed, surrounded by half-unpacked boxes, my phone kept buzzing with messages. Adam demanding apologies, his sister asking what really happened, and Linda sending me heartbreaking texts like, "I'm so ashamed of him. I'm so sorry you went through this." And for the first time since this whole nightmare started, I began to wonder, did I make things worse by telling her? Was I wrong? I sat in my apartment that night, phone buzzing on the nightstand like an angry hornet. Adam's name flashed over and over, alternating between aggressive messages and bizarre attempts at guilt-tripping. "Adam, I hope you're happy. My mom's hysterical. She called my aunt crying. And now my family thinks I'm a monster. You had no right to do that." Adam, 10 minutes later, "I can't believe you'd embarrass me like this after everything I've done for you." Adam, 20 minutes later, "You're just being spiteful. Couldn't you just leave quietly like a normal person?" Each text left me angrier. The more he tried to twist the narrative, the more I realized this wasn't just about him cheating. This was about him controlling the story. He wanted me to disappear quietly, to let him keep playing his good son act for his family while I cried alone in my apartment. But I wasn't going to be his dirty little secret. The next day, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I answered, thinking it might be a coworker. "Why would you tell Linda something like that?" a sharp female voice demanded. It was Adam's older sister, Danielle. I'd met her a few times. She was polite but distant. Now she sounded like she was ready to rip me apart. "What are you talking about?" I asked, my voice flat. "Adam told me you made up some story about him cheating, and now Mom's in tears. You didn't need to involve her." I actually laughed. "Made it up? I have screenshots of him flirting with 3 different women. This isn't a story, it's reality." There was a pause. "Even if that's true," Danielle snapped, "it's between you and him. Not the whole family." I hung up before I said something I'd regret. Was I really expected to lie to Linda? to look her in the eyes, this woman who had treated me like her own daughter, and pretend her son wasn't sneaking around with gym girls. That afternoon, Linda called me herself. "Sweetheart," she said, her voice trembling. "I'm so sorry you had to go through this. I feel like I raised a stranger. I confronted Adam last night, and he lied to my face. He said you're making this up because you're insecure." My throat tightened. "He's trying to make me look crazy, Linda. I saw everything on his phone." She sighed heavily. "I believe you. I do. I just can't believe he would treat someone as good as you like this. You're everything I hoped my son would find. And now I feel like I'm losing you too." That nearly broke me. Linda wasn't the problem here. I hated that she was collateral damage in Adam's mess. "You're not losing me," I said softly, "but I can't stay with someone who doesn't respect me. He needs to face what he's done." That evening, Adam showed up at my apartment unannounced. I only realized it when I heard the knock and saw his car parked outside. I cracked the door open, arms crossed. "What do you want?" He didn't even look guilty. "You need to fix this," he said. "You need to tell my mom you were overreacting. This is ridiculous." I actually laughed in disbelief. "Fix this? You're the one who screwed around with half the gym. Maybe you should fix that." He rolled his eyes. "It wasn't even that serious. You're blowing this way out of proportion. And now my mom is treating me like I'm some criminal because you can't keep your mouth shut." Something in me snapped. "You think I should have lied for you? You think I should have sat there while Linda asked me why I was leaving and just smiled like everything's fine? Number, I told her the truth because she deserves to know what kind of son she raised." His jaw tightened, and for the first time, I saw anger flash in his eyes. "You'll regret this," he muttered before walking off. I spent that night pacing around my apartment. His words echoed in my head. "You'll regret this." It sounded like a threat, though I wasn't sure if he meant it that way. Part of me began to question everything. Was I too harsh? Could I have just left without saying anything? Would things have been easier if I stayed silent and let him face his own karma? But every time I replayed the look on Linda's face, the shock, the heartbreak, I knew I made the right call. She deserved the truth. I wasn't going to be another woman who enabled his lies. 2 days later, I got a DM on Instagram. It was from a girl named Emily. "Hi, are you Adam's girlfriend?" My stomach dropped. I replied, "I was. We broke up last week. Who are you?" She sent me a photo of her and Adam smiling at the gym. "I just found out about you. I thought I was his only girlfriend." His only girlfriend. Emily and I exchanged messages for nearly an hour. She told me they'd been hooking up for months. He told her I was just a friend crashing at his place sometimes. I felt like I was going to throw up. It was worse than I thought. Not just casual cheating, but full-blown double life. I called Linda that night. I told her about Emily. I told her everything. She cried again, but this time there was steel in her voice. "Don't you dare feel guilty," she said. "This is his mess. And if he wants to be angry, let him be angry. He needs to grow up." Hearing her say that was like a weight lifting off my chest. For the first time in days, I felt like I wasn't crazy for telling the truth. Adam, of course, texted me that night. "I can't believe you're still talking to my mom. You're just trying to ruin me. You're pathetic." I stared at my phone and typed back, "No, Adam, you ruined yourself." Then I blocked his number. When I blocked Adam's number, I expected relief. I thought that cutting off contact would feel like reclaiming my sanity, but instead, my mind churned with what ifs. What if he showed up at my apartment again? What if his family started harassing me? What if Emily and I weren't the only ones? Because that's what I couldn't stop thinking about now. How many more were there? Emily and I had been texting almost nonstop since she found me. We'd built this strange camaraderie over our shared betrayal. Two strangers united by one lying, manipulative man. "Do you think he told all of them that we were just friends?" I asked her one night over the phone. "Probably," she said bitterly. "He said I was his girlfriend. He even told me he was thinking about introducing me to his mom." I nearly choked. "Introducing you? Linda knows me. We've had dinner with her." Emily sighed. "That man is two-faced. And the worst part? He thinks he's untouchable because he's Mr. Nice Guy at the gym." That's when Emily made a suggestion that both terrified and thrilled me. "Let's confront him together." Emily's idea was simple. Catch him off guard at his favorite place, his precious gym. "Public setting," she reasoned. "He can't scream or make a scene." We'll show him we know everything. I hesitated. What's the goal, though? To humiliate him? To end this. To make sure he knows he can't twist this around on us, Emily said firmly. I'm tired of being lied to. Part of me wanted to let it go. I wanted to pack up the memories, the texts, the heartbreak, and just move on. But the other part, the part that had watched him gaslight me, accuse me of being spiteful for telling his mom the truth, needed to see him squirm. So I agreed. The gym's parking lot was buzzing with the usual late evening crowd. Emily and I sat in my car, our nerves wound tight. Ready? She asked. No, I admitted. But let's do this anyway. We spotted Adam heading toward the entrance, earbuds in, gym bag slung over his shoulder. When he saw us, he froze. His entire demeanor shifted from confidence to something tight and defensive. What the hell are you two doing here? He demanded, pulling out his earbuds. I stepped forward. We know everything, Adam. Stop pretending. Emily crossed her arms, her voice steady but furious. You told me I was your girlfriend, that she pointed at me, was just a roommate. How many other women are you lying to? Adam laughed, but it was hollow. Oh my God, this is insane. You're both crazy. Are you seriously teaming up against me now? Crazy? I spat. Crazy is juggling two women and lying to both of us while you parade around like the perfect boyfriend. Adam's mask cracked. You don't get it, he snapped. This wouldn't have been a problem if you weren't so uptight all the time. You both act like I'm some kind of criminal for having a little fun. Emily stepped closer, her eyes blazing. Fun? You told me you loved me. You told me you were planning a future with me. I pulled out my phone and showed him the screenshots, his texts, his late-night messages, the explicit photos. Stop lying, Adam. Everyone can see exactly who you are now. For a moment, he looked cornered, like a trapped animal. Then he muttered, You know what? I don't need this. Either of you. You're both drama queens. And with that, he turned to walk away. Later that night, I got a call from Linda. Her voice was sharp, unlike the warm tone I was used to. I just spoke to Adam, she said. He told me you and some girl ambushed him at the gym. My stomach twisted. Linda, he's trying to make me look like the problem again. I wasn't alone. Emily is another girl he cheated with. We confronted him because he's been lying to both of us. There was a pause. Then Linda sighed. Sweetheart, I believe you. But this is tearing the family apart. His sister is furious with him. His father won't speak to him. And Adam, he's blaming me for taking your side. Linda, I'm sorry this is hard on you, I said softly. But I can't apologize for telling the truth. You deserve to know who he really is. Her voice wavered. I know. I just wish things had turned out differently. I always thought you'd be my daughter-in-law someday. That broke me. I cried after that call, partly for myself, but also for Linda. She didn't deserve this either. The next morning, I woke up to a message request on Instagram from a burner account. It was Adam. You and Emily are both pathetic. Congrats on ruining my reputation. I hope you're happy. I didn't respond. What else was there to say? After the confrontation, I realized something. This wasn't just about Adam cheating. It was about control, manipulation, and the way he tried to make me question my own reality. He wanted me to stay quiet so he could keep being the perfect son while sneaking around behind my back. He wanted to play both sides, to have me and to have his fun at the gym. But I wasn't going to let him win that narrative. Adam was losing control of his carefully crafted image, and I knew he'd try to fight back harder. I just didn't realize how messy things would get with his family next. I didn't hear from Adam for 2 days after the gym confrontation, but that didn't mean the drama stopped. In fact, it was just getting started. Linda called me again, her voice cracking between anger and heartbreak. Sweetheart, she said, I confronted Adam yesterday, and he denied everything again. He says you and that other girl are making this up to punish him. I don't know what to believe anymore. I wanted to scream. Linda, I showed you the texts, you saw them. I know, she whispered. I know what I saw. I just don't understand how my son could do this. I raised him better than this. It hit me how much pain Linda was in, pain she didn't deserve. She had treated me like family, trusted me, and now her whole image of her son was crumbling. The next day, I received a text from an unknown number. Danielle, you need to stop talking to my mom. This is between you and Adam. Why are you dragging her into this? She sighed. Don't you apologize. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself. I wish I had done the same when I was your age. My son may not understand what he lost, but I do. He lost someone who cared about him enough to see the truth. I nearly cried. Linda didn't just believe me. She was defending me. It wasn't long before the rest of Adam's family started picking sides. His father texted me, surprisingly calm. Adam's dad. I'm sorry things ended this way. I hope you know this isn't your fault. Take care of yourself. Danielle, however, was relentless. She posted some passive-aggressive message on Facebook about people who air private drama to get attention. I knew it was about me. Then came the kicker. Adam's younger brother, Mark, DM'd me privately. Don't let Danielle get to you. Adam's been like this for years, but no one ever calls him out. You did the right thing. That message gave me an unexpected sense of validation. It wasn't just me and Linda who saw through Adam's act. On the third day of silence, Adam showed up at my apartment again. I almost didn't answer the door, but curiosity got the better of me. He looked rough, dark circles under his eyes, a tension in his jaw like he'd been grinding his teeth all night. Can we talk? He asked. His voice was quieter, almost defeated. I crossed my arms. Talk about what? You lying to me? Or are you blaming me for your mom finally seeing the truth? He sighed, running a hand through his hair. I didn't mean for this to get so messy. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. You didn't have to tell her. You didn't have to make me look like a villain. You are the villain, I said flatly. You cheated multiple times. And now you're mad that people know? That's not my problem, Adam. He stared at me, eyes hardening. You'll regret making me look bad. I stepped back, my voice sharp. Get out, right now. After that confrontation, I blocked every single number tied to Adam or his sister. I was done. I wasn't going to let him twist my words or make me question my own reality anymore. Linda texted me later that night, telling me she'd had another fight with him. He told me I should be mad at you, she wrote. I told him I'm mad at him, not you. I love you and I always will. Please don't think for a second that you did anything wrong. That message was what finally broke me. I sat on my bed, crying, not because I missed Adam, but because I was mourning the illusion of the relationship I thought I had. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Emily texted me with news that made my stomach drop. You're not going to believe this. I just found out he's seeing another girl at the gym. Want to hear what she told me? I didn't even want to respond, but my fingers moved on their own. She asked me why I left him. I told her the truth. I'm not going to lie for your brother. Danielle's reply was almost instant. He made a mistake. You don't have to destroy him over it. A mistake. That word burned. Cheating with multiple women wasn't a slip-up. It was a choice, a calculated, repeated choice. That evening, Linda called again. This time, she sounded different. Firm. I've been thinking, she said. I love my son, but I'm not going to pretend what he did is okay. He came over today yelling at me, saying I'm turning against him. You know what I told him? What? I asked, my heart pounding. I told him that if he doesn't take responsibility for his actions, then I don't want him coming around here. He screamed at me, called me brainwashed. Can you believe that? His own mother. My throat tightened. Linda, I'm so sorry, she sighed. Don't you apologize? I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself. I wish I had done the same when I was your age. My son may not understand what he lost, but I do. He lost someone who cared about him enough to see the truth. I nearly cried. Linda didn't just believe me. She was defending me. It wasn't long before the rest of Adam's family started picking sides. His father texted me, surprisingly calm. Adam's dad. I'm sorry things ended this way. I hope you know this isn't your fault. Take care of yourself. Danielle, however, was relentless. She posted some passive-aggressive message on Facebook about people who air private drama to get attention. I knew it was about me. Then came the kicker. Adam's younger brother, Mark, DM'd me privately. Don't let Danielle get to you. Adam's been like this for years, but no one ever calls him out. You did the right thing.